Well, this week I'm not going to start by talking about two of my favorite things to talk about. This week I'm going to jump from the norm because, you know what? For the first time in 20 years, we definitely have a football team to be proud about. That's right. On homecoming weekend, the Mynderse Blue Devils clinched their first league championship in nearly 20 years with a resounding 22-0 defeat of Dundee. But you know how I feel. Would have been better had we clinched it against our rivals to the west, Waterloo. But oh well, I digress. Of course, this week, it's a bye week because the team we were supposed to face, Nichols School out of Buffalo, didn't field a team. So we got a bye week going into the Section 5 tournament. But for the first time in a long time, we can hold our heads up high about a community and about a school. Yeah, for years and years it seemed as though Mynderse was just muddling through the football season, seemed to just focused on making the Connors and Barris Bowl, which means we a lot of times as a team. Finally, we got a team to be proud about, which hasn't been much in the last 40 years. Now let's keep it going, Blue Devils. Let's keep it going into the Section 5 tournament. Now I'll go from talking about the Blue Devils to my subjects. It's now starting to look disconcerting about the Orange. We had a fabulous 4-0 start. And of course, we had nothing to be ashamed about, playing the power that Clemson is, right down to the wire, and losing in heartbreaking fashion. But against the team we should have beaten, a glaring weakness has now emerged. Yes, we're pretty vulnerable against the run. Dino, look, let's face it. I know you're an offensive wizard, but you gotta start focusing a little more on defense, 'cause you saw how tired the Orange got and how we couldn't stop the run. A big 44-37 loss to Pittsburgh kind of emphasizes that. We got a bye week to lick our wounds, but now with the rest of the ACC schedule coming up, we gotta figure, hey, are we really gonna be making a bowl, or are we gonna have another collapse like we've done the last 2 years? You gotta start thinking about this, especially with the Carolinas and the meat of the schedule coming up. Come on, Orange, get back on track. And of course, speaking of running game, Buffalo decided to go old school. You know, for much of the first few games, it seems as though Shady McCoy wasn't featured very much. But now he was featured, along with one of the best power backs there is in the game, Chris Ivory, who just is a straight-ahead, no-frills runner. And it worked, albeit in ugly fashion, 13-12 against Tennessee. But this shows, hey, Josh Allen is nowhere near to the development that we need. He needs guidance, which is why longtime journeyman Derek Anderson looks like he's about to sign to kind of be a mentor to Josh Allen. Hopefully he can help guide Allen, as right now Allen needs development, which is what he should have needed all along, development. Somebody to help him, nurture him along, if you know what I mean. And we go from talking about the Bills to talking about baseball. The postseason's definitely underway, and boy are they making waves. The Astros showing that they're the defending World Series champions with that big resounding sweep. And also in the National League, Milwaukee and Los Angeles moving on to the NLCS. But how about the Yankees and the Red Sox? The rivalry. Of course, the Yankees made it to the wild card, defeated the A's in that single-game playoff. But that kind of showed the ugliness of some of the fans, especially that one that decided to douse that Oakland A's fan with beer after a big celebration. You know, I always thought about the bleacher creatures there, and I always liked their thing of chanting the Yankees' names when they take the field, and also how the Yankees like to acknowledge them. But you don't need to do that to opposing fans. They're our guests, but hey, we have to treat everybody equal. And I'm glad that A's fan is going to get a care package from the team. And of course, last night, that resounding win by the Red Sox over the Yankees. I know there's a lot of Yankees fans, including Marty Colgrove. We want to see the Yankees win. And of course, he's got the Red Sox for his placemat. Well, you know what? The Yankees fans, if they're going to continue on what hopefully could be a great run, you need to act a little better, guys. That's all I have to say. And also, one thing I have to say about what's going on with this town. I know Lazaro is trying to reorganize things to do some belt tightening. But you know what? Part of it is we don't need to lose 4 police positions, especially when we've got quite a few new officers, like Camacho and also my cousin Jake the Chick among the fold. Of course, I know there's a lot of things we could do for belt tightening, but apparently Lazaro doesn't seem to think, hey, we need to have some better revenue coming in other than the dump. We cannot rely on that dump forever, you gotta think about other ways. You gotta think about trying to entice business into Seneca Falls and not make some deals there to keep Seneca Meadows open. Yeah, right now they're vital to our economic well-being, but you don't make deals like that, and you don't shortchange our police force, Lazaro. And another thing, going to that awful tragedy that happened near Albany. It just seems as though there's a lot of shady things being revealed about that limo company, shady things being revealed about that owner. But again, Governor Cuomo steps into it. Yeah, you don't announce stuff like that, especially when no investigation's been opened. And I tell you what, I am so sorry to everybody there who was affected by that awful tragedy, and including right here locally, Rob Dyson, the son of Don Dyson, who served this community in several ways, is among the victims. Let's remember them in this time of need. But Governor Cuomo, 'tis nice to keep your mouth shut. Of course, a lot of this looks like political ringing just about a month before the election. Of course, it sadly looks like he's going to be reelected. Oh well. And that's pretty much all I have time for this week. But I will say, homecoming was this past weekend, and it was sure good to see the class of '88, the class before me, reunite. But you know what? All the students seem to be on their best behavior, if you know what I mean. Till next week, this is Kenny's 2 Pennies.